Elentila Lumenomentielvo. Welcome to Tolkien on Tap. I'm TJ. Grab a drink and enjoy. Almian.
Tonight, a long-asked question will be answered.
Tar-Arenian Gil-galad, also known as Artanaro, the High King of the Noldor, but his parentage is often highly debated. Is he the son of Orodres, also known as Artaresto, or is he actually the son of Fingon Findicano? Tonight, we will answer this question and possibly pose another answer to this problem.
Welcome to Tolkien on Tap, everyone. I am TJ. I have two returning guests with me tonight. My friends, my people from my Noldor squad, David the Noldo and Bree. How are you two doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to finally expose Gil-galad for the fraud he is. How are you guys
You have
doing?
the whiteboard? Gil-galad, son of
Yes,
question
of course
mark,
I do.
question mark, question. We have 4 question marks. Nice.
Yeah, that's
Noldor squad. Noldor squad.
Noldor squad. David's got his gang sign being thrown up for the Noldor squad. I don't know if I could do that. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Oh my God. I used to
This
be able
makes
to
you-
do that when it was like edgy to try and do. We should not
Wait,
be throwing up
did it-
the blood gang sign.
It's not the blood one. It's the Tunglar for the Noldor.
It is.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I thought you were like unsuccessfully attempting to flash the blood like
No.
sign. And I was like, we shouldn't do that.
No. David like is full on tangwaring his hand right now.
I also have to make sure to do it with my right hand,
is
but then in
so
other times I have to do it with my left hand. It's technically the right one.
Welcome to Tolkien on Tap, where we're so nerdy we throw up nerd gang signs.
Noldor squad.
Not who is we? Leave me out of this.
I'm pretty sure I saw your hand do some things just a minute ago.
I was saying like I was trying to figure out what gang signs David was repping it, and I'm like, are we doing this? Are we doing like are we repping the Bloods? Because I
What did
don't
I just
think
get
it's
myself into?
yeah, I was
All
like, is this like my initiation into Noldor squad?
No,
I mean,
that is
blood in,
that is-
blood out for the Noldor squad.
All right, before we truly get started, I will go over the drinking games for anyone who is listening or watching. At the moment, we are not doing the drinking game. This is just so everyone knows what to take a drink for. You would take a drink if Finrod Findorato is mentioned, Finwë Nola Finwë, or Fingolfin is mentioned, Nelia Finwë, Rosindo, Maitimo, Maedhros is mentioned. If we say fuck Eluthingal, Elwë Sindiculo, or Elwë Singolo, if the Athrobeth is mentioned, if Shibboleth is mentioned, if Ada Finwë, Finarfin is mentioned, we say anything about Gandalf loving hobbits. Faramir is brought up. If we say for Frodo, any of Turin Turambar's names, if we mention Huan or if Lotro is brought up, those are all the things we drink for. And without further ado,
You're forgetting another.
Jen?
I'm forgetting one. I didn't write it down. 6.
Footnote 33.
Oh,
But
you never had me write that down, David.
No, 33. So is the Lotro one because of Jen?
Absolutely, it's because of Jen.
I knew it. That's
Did
so
you not
cute.
see the Did you not see the notes for the episode I just dropped? So time of recording, what day is this? The 20th of March. Oh,
yeah.
If you go look at the notes on that one, I think it's episode 11. It says, how many times will Jen mention Lotro? I'm writing it now, David.
That is
Footnote
so valid.
33. Right. All right.
You guys should bring your like gaming laptops. Let's do a LAN party, a Lotro LAN party.
I have a Mac. I have a Mac, and I tried to play Lotro on the Mac, and I couldn't get it to work. I got mad, and I deleted it.
You try to download
before
it
we
through
get started,
Steam or Direct? Sorry.
It was Steam.
Don't do it through Steam. It's a
no,
scam.
No, wait. No, it wasn't Steam. No, I had to do a porting software to get it. I can't remember what it was because I have a Mac. It won't just do it on a Mac. It has to be through a
but you
porting
should still
software.
be able to play it.
I'll bring my laptop to Westwood.
Anyway,
we'll
sorry.
figure it out. Yeah, no, it's no worries. So tonight, Bree, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking the same cider as last time because I still had some left from the 12-pack I bought. We're gonna take it a little slower than last time because I ended up drunk texting my ex. I'm old. I realized that my alcohol tolerance is no longer what it once was when I was in my 20s. So
All right, listen, I
gonna
woke up in the
try.
bathtub. I get it. It's fine. David is Bill the Pony tonight. For those who don't know, Bill the Pony is our designated driver. So David will safely steer us where we need to go. And if it gets too dangerous and the wolves of Sauron show up, he will run back to Fatty Lumpkin. Tonight I am drinking just Coors Light, just doing some American
Oh.
lager. And before we start, I'm going to drinking game on footnote 33. I'm going to take a shot of vodka.
Footnote 33,
I've already
page
spilled.
361.
Oh God, maybe I should have done that. I spilled.
You guys should make a like
I almost
you know those
choked.
people who like have the like John 3:16 signs at like
No,
football games.
David wants to
so-
make shirts.
That but with
So
The
we
footnote.
actually we're planning to do that for like the Stone Cold Steve Austin footnote
Oh my
33.
God.
Oh my God, David, we need to get shirts for Westmoot.
That's right. We need
Yeah,
to
we
create
should do that for
those.
shirts for Westmoot. That'd be
Because
awesome.
the thing is, it's on page 361 too. Of
Yeah.
of the Peoples of Middle Earth.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely has to
I
happen.
don't know why I associate with you people. I thought I was a huge nerd, but this is
It was one of those things where
beyond
it's
the
like
pale.
they took one bit of something I said and then like made into a bigger thing. Because I said
Yeah,
footnote 33.
that's exactly what happened.
Footnote 360 or page 361, and then TJ ran with it.
Actually, David, let's hold on. Back the fuck up, dude. Wait, thinking back, because when I edited it, because I didn't remember. Full disclosure, this is a drinking podcast, and I take drinking seriously on this podcast. So I remember the next day being insanely hungover and seeing you and Lee quoting quote unquote footnote 33 in all caps, page 361, right? And I was like, I can't remember that. I was editing, I believe it's episode 4 where it comes in, and you scream footnote 33. So let's not act like you did not make it a big deal, first of all.
No, because you were giving me shit in the episode about it. Because
True.
you and Lee were both saying, yes, footnote 33, like mockingly, and I was like, yes, footnote 33.
That is true.
Yes.
That is true. That's why it became such a big thing. It's because we were all being really ridiculous about it. All right. Anyways, let's so we're going to talk about some Gil-galad conspiracy theories tonight. This is something that is very near and dear to Bree's heart. So I'm going to turn the mic over to Bree.
Very. So tonight we answer the age-old question: Gil-galad, son of. So we look at the evidence, right? Which is, according to Christopher Tolkien's edition of the Silmarillion, he's Findacanos' son, right? That's from the Silmarillion.
Yep.
Okay, but like that doesn't make any sense because there is no wife, right? And I don't think that the High King of the Noldor would be able to successfully have a child out of wedlock. Alternatively, if we see him as Oroda's son, like that just doesn't bear out looking at other source material. These two conflicting things, and like it's from different houses too. Like it's not even like, oh, maybe he's Turgon's son or Findacanos' son. It's from like two different houses underneath the House of Finwë. Like, why these opposing theories? So my ultimate theory is that Gil-galad is not the son of either of these men, but rather nothing but a carefully constructed political figurehead created by the Noldor working together. Now, I do have other options, such as Sauron's science experiment.
I like that you're writing this down like you're teaching right now. I appreciate that.
Arendelle Superman style. I spelled Arendelle wrong. I have no excuse. I haven't been drinking that much yet. Okay. There's also the option Finduilis. I secretly be. And then, so let's see. Let's draw some lines. Mpreg, Sauron experiment.
What was
what
the
other ones have I
this
been
one?
picking around? Oh, Finduilis, secretly Finduilis.
Oh,
In
Gil-galad is
disguise,
secretly
either
Finduilis.
in brag or have raised his gender.
So before we go too far, let me just say,
because
like,
then it kind of makes sense.
before we go too far, let me just say, like, I've never actually like thought about his parentage beyond Odredreth or Fingon, mostly because like to me it made sense that like he would become the High King until someone pointed out like, well, if he was, because Christopher went back on saying that he was Odred's son and was like, or I'm saying he was Fingon's son and saying like he was actually Odred's son, and Odred was actually what was it, Engrad's son, making him like the grandson of Otto Finwë. No, I'm sorry, the great grandson of Otto Finwë. So like that's as far as I ever went with it. But then someone pointed out like if that's the case, if Christopher was right about Gil-galad being the son of Odredreth, who is the son of Engrad, who is the son of Otto Finwë, right? Then that means that Elrond would have been the next in line because Elrond is directly descended in line from good God, Nola Finwë. Take a drink, everyone who's drinking.
Yep.
I mean, just to
try
chime
to
in
save
on
you
this
by
part, because
saying he was
that's
descended from Tutukano.
So that's
the case. I think that's the case regardless. Actually, this was a question that Nubeta asked at San Diego Comic-Con last year, as far as like presenting all of like the line of the kingship of the Noldor, and then who would likely be, who technically should be the one next in line for kingship, instead of Gil-galad, also known as Artanaro.
For those who don't know, David, his entire soul gets shattered every time he has to speak Sindarin. He will be saying the Quenya names as well. Continue, David.
So I definitely agree with that, and I think this might lend credibility further on as we go with this theory as far as who's there. Though I do want to provide some, just as far as to steelman the argument for Findicano's fathership for Gil-galad. Mm-hmm. I do think the house heraldry and the colors, the blue, matches that of the Nola Finwë line. And then the fact that he carries a weapon that's named Aiglos, which means like the icicle or like the ice point, matches again still that Nola Finwë line of having an ice named weapon.
Right. Did you just say it twice, by the way?
I did.
Let me counterpoint you though, David. I believe it is okay. So actually I'm gonna add to your point, and then I want to take away from your point. Because he I can't like just tear him down and then say something that like supports him. Because in Unfinished Tales,
David, you're wrong, but also this helps your argument.
Well, listen, I gotta be fair, man. In Unfinished Tales, the letter that Gil-galad writes to oh god, who is Eldarion? No, not Eldarion. Yeah, Eldarion's father, Menelkar, Melendil. Anyways, Eldarion's father before he steps down. Meneldur, thank you. He does say Gil-galad, son of Fingon, in that letter, but there is, and I cannot remember the source. I'm gonna have to fucking edit in where it is somewhere later on down the line because we don't have Lee here with us, who just happens to know everything at all times. There is somewhere in the Legendarium where it talks about Gil-galad having fucking silver hair, and the only line that has silver hair is the House of Otto Finwë. Take a drink.
Yep. See, that's actually, hold on, let me take a sip.
Counterpoint. There's someone outside of the Otto Finwë line of the Noldor
in Fingolfin's line,
in the Noldorin line that has silver hair.
In the Noldorin line,
Telegorm.
Yes.
Yelko.
Fuck, it is. You're right.
Telcormo, because it's like
wait, is he the son of Telcormo? Oh my god, did the Feanorians fucking usurp?
Muriel
did they re-usurp shit? Like they gave it away, and then they're like, "Hey, we're gonna fucking remix a remix and put everything back to normal."
This adds to the
That's
theory.
cool.
Or
Maybe wait.
Maybe he's okay.
Maybe Telcormo had a child out of wedlock due to the doom of the Noldor and the Oath of Feanaro, and they were like, "Oh, we can't. This is bad publicity. This is bad for business if we have a Feanorian."
So then he would have. So then
because the thing is, because they're also the other part. The Feanorian line is also the disinherited.
Right.
they're the Forsaken one, so they can't.
Yeah, and I want to add to this
so
because I kind of like this theory. I want to add to it. So the way this works then is Telcormo meets someone in Beleriand, unbeknownst to anybody, fathers a child, secrets him into the. So he's got to somehow secret him into the rest of the Noldorin family. So the only problem is, how do you introduce him into the royal line?
or this is a Sindarin.
Did he trick Otodreth? Because Otodreth is kind of a fucking bum, as Nubita says.
Or this is a Lestinorian plot.
Wait,
Is it secret?
I have a question. I have a question about that though, David.
You guys
why
are
would
saying all the things that are in my brain?
because the main name that he gets is Erenion, which is a Sindarin word. It's a Sindarin name. He has the silver hair.
But my question is, why would Doriath Lestinore set up a Feanorian to rule the Noldor?
No, I'm saying this is an alternate one outside of the Feanorian one.
Oh, okay, fair.
So this is like another.
Oh, you're saying Gil-galad could have been Sindarin?
Yeah,
and
Eludingol
set up fucking Sindarin rule within the Noldor. Fuck Eludingol.
Yeah, fuck
Take a drink.
No,
I'm getting fucked up tonight.
Alternatively, it's because of the Elwing connection.
Okay.
He married into the Noldor. Like, I don't think that it's the Thordiathrim trying to infiltrate, right? Like, I still stand behind Gil-galad being kind of like, we don't know, but his backstory is made up. So, like, one of the ones that fits with, so you'll note here, I wrote, what are the big incongruences for his established backstories? His hair color, sus. Because again, being Findecano's son and having silver hair, odd.
Right.
When was he born? A lot of his dads that he's listed as having are dead, like super dead by the time the War of Wrath comes around. And then his heraldry, the biggest question of all. Why stars if it's from Orodreth? Could be Findecano, yes, because of that. But yeah, so when we're talking about
whose name
Sindarin people.
But whose name has stars in it? And who would be able to have the authority to have him sequestered by Kiryaton to the Isle of Balar?
Because that's the other question.
So Elwë Sindiculo has stars in his name. So it's like, I'm not saying Elwë is his father. I'm just saying that he could still be a plant.
Yeah.
By
the more we talk, the more I'm like, holy shit, he is a fucking
be,
plant.
I'm saying he could be either Elodin and or Eludin. Having been rescued from the forest because they are Elwing's brothers.
That's a fucking good idea. That's a cool fucking theory.
Elwing is associated with the star.
Yeah. Ooh, that's actually really
the house of Thingol, because they also have the Silmaril.
Yeah.
So it could be Elodin and or
that's an awesome fucking theory.
But also Dior, his name is the name is the heir of Sindiculo. Erenion means scion of the king.
Yep.
Holy fuck!
Isn't it plural though? Scion of kings.
Is it of kings? It might be wrong. So yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's plural.
But still, yeah.
I'm just gonna sit back. I should have grabbed some fucking popcorn for this shit. Damn, this is good. I love this so far.
I've been thinking about this a lot.
What brought this on, Bree? I do have to ask.
So it's just something that I have been thinking about a lot. And then I saw this Tumblr post where an artist had compiled all of their favorite conspiracy theories of that the fandom has come up with for Gil-galad. And I had been thinking about my own theories. And then I recently read a fanfic in which he is secretly Eärendil in disguise.
Okay.
So, and it made so much sense because here's the way that
but that doesn't track into the second age. Well, unless you can make it. I need you to make it. I need you to make it track for me in the second age, please.
Okay. So the way that this author laid it out, and I was like, at first I was like, this is kind of a funny theory, and then by the end of the fic, I was like, yes, correct, problem solved. You figured it out. It was very convincing, but essentially,
fucking problem solved.
Out is that Eärendil, he's seeing everything that goes on in his little magic boat, but he's not allowed to come back to Endore because it's like it's been the song. But what he could do is create a new song. So he like comes up with like an alternate identity when he can come in like, oh God, I hate seeing people suffer. Let me swoop in. So he creates an alter ego and like builds this new. And Kirtan is the only one who knows what he looks like at this point, who's still on Endore, because most of the refugees from Syrian are gone. Tuor and Idril are gone. Elwing is gone. But like, if you come somewhere and people are like, hey, what's your name? And you have to come up with a fake name. You're like, looks up at the sky. Starlight. My name is
So
Starlight. Like, what
the
a
only problem,
stupid name.
the only problem I have with that
Starlight,
theory,
son of he?
the only problem I have with that theory is how much Eärendil loved Elwing, because Eärendil wanted to stay tied to the race of men, whereas Elwing wanted to stay tied to the race of elves, and Eärendil decided to do what Elwing wanted, which is why he was, put up in Vingala in the sky with the Silmaril on his brow. So why then would he be the High King of the Noldor, or even as a plant, and Elwing not be anywhere?
He's a bird.
Well, listen. She flies up to the heavens. She flies up to the heavens and meets him in the sky in the story. So like, unless,
who's flying the boat? She's in on it.
She's in on it?
Because it's the only
That's
way
what I was
to
gonna
prevent
say.
Elrond and Elros from becoming the High Kings, and they're like, we don't want them to get involved in all that shit.
Oh fuck! Damn it! You just made it even better. Because I was gonna say, like, that makes sense.
As their parents, we're gonna step in.
Yeah, I was gonna say that makes sense for the reason that, like, well, like, he could be, and like, oh, we don't know where Elwing went. She's at her tower or whatever. But like in the story, she goes up and like visits Eärendil in the sky, whereas she could really just be coming down to fuck, what is the name of the Lindon? She could just be coming down to like Lindon to see him. Fuck, damn it, you're not wrong. Damn it, I'm trying to poke holes in shit, and you're not wrong whatsoever in all of your theories.
I guess what would be, because how would my biggest pushback would be, I would have it hard to imagine if that was Eärendil, him not, him keeping that more and more from Elrond.
But the thing is, Elrond's his herald, so he keeps him close as hell.
No, I get
well,
that,
and also,
but I
like,
find
kind
it...
of like the conceit of it is he can't let anyone know his real identity, because then he gets written back into the Song of Middle Earth and he'll get booted from Middle Earth. Like, that's kind of like the conceit of like the story.
So he's like, he's tricking even the Valar.
Yeah, and that's
which makes him even fucking cooler if that's true.
Which I don't think that would... I don't think that they, that part I don't think would be able to mesh, that they would be able to, especially the Doom with Mandos, being able to like avoid that without them knowing it. That would be probably my biggest hole I would poke into that theory for him, for it being Eärendil. I definitely do lean more towards, as we discuss this more, that he probably is just a setup.
He's some guy.
He's just some elf. He's like, oh god, what's the story of like the king who just makes himself king? Like there's some like random, I'm pretty sure throughout like all bunch of different world history, but like there's one tale where it's like he's just like a nobody who makes himself king. He tricks everybody and he becomes king.
Aladdin?
No.
I know it's not that. I know it's not that. Sorry, I don't know.
Isn't that all kings though, if you really think about it?
True.
Let me see what else I have written down.
This is the part of the show where we're gonna just say fuck the rich. Let's eat the rich.
Yes, just because we were discussing.
Are we adding that to the drinking?
Just because we talk about Tolkien's Legendarium and kingship and title, and that does not mean we condone monarchy.
That's right.
This is a pro.
Even
regicide.
motherfucking Aragorn, son of Arathorn, Elisar, was not crowned unless the entire city of Gondor, I'm sorry, Minas Tirith, accepted him as king. That was a fucking democratic vote. He was not going to take up the throne without everybody agreeing, and they all unanimously agreed.
Okay. So here's what I have so far for possible origins. And if you guys want, I can add. So first I have
I just real quick
Em-
note, time out. I just need to
Yeah.
let everybody know who's not watching that
That's right, I forgot.
Bree's whiteboard currently looks like Charlie Kelly in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, because it just gets weirder and crazier, and there's so many fucking arrows right now. Please,
You're
Bree,
lucky I could
continue.
only find one color that works. Okay. So here's what I have so far, and you guys can add to it or let me know your thoughts. First, Mpreg Sauron experiment, uh, possibly with Maitros, created in a lab, has escaped. So there's that, and like that's why he's the of kings plural, because Sauron is like, I'm gonna make the perfect sleeper agent by combining the like DNA of all of these different like
Oh shit!
bloodlines.
God, that tracks
Yeah.
so fucking hard with
wait,
what
wait,
Sauron
wait, wait,
is.
wait, wait.
But
So Sauron becomes Mr. Sinister, and then you're saying that Gil-galad is basically Nate Gray, X-Man
yes,
from Marvel
Oh
Comics.
yes,
shit!
I should have known you would get
He's
it.
the
Okay,
ultimate.
yes,
He's the ultimate Noldoran king.
Nice.
he's the ultimate. He is the scion of kings. Like he is the king, and he is Gil-galad. He's starlight. He's fire. Like that's why it's so vague. He could literally be the son of
It's
any
the
of the
sun
Noldor.
and the moon. Oh,
So
This,
Mpreg
so I
Sauron
just gotta say, this
experiment.
episode so far is fucking amazing, because we're all so excited with this fucking idea. I have to say, like, I didn't know where this was gonna go when you suggested this, Bree, and so far this is fucking phenomenal. Thank you.
Yay! Hey,
I like
there's
Sauron as
also
Mr. Sinister theory. This is
me too. It tracks. It tracks. There's also Rusingon baby. So Maitros, son of Maitros and Findecano, either through adoption,
Ooh.
you know, natural, or, a surrogate. Because again, scion of kings, plural. And then that would
Oh,
explain why we don't know. There is no wife of Findecano. And we don't know who, like in this version of canon where Findecano is his father, we don't know who his mother is, because they would not be able to reveal that his other parent is Maitros, which
oh, hell yeah. I love that.
they would have because he's a Feanorian. So that's one. I have
mm,
the
I like it.
Erendil
I like
one.
it because it's got the Findicano and Maitimo, take a drink.
Yeah,
Fanship. Like
yeah,
from our last
what do
episode
you
we were
they're
talking about.
canon.
They are canon in my head,
Okay. I have
which is the best
Erendil,
type of
I have
canon.
Finduilas, because we never know where she's buried.
Right. The
mm.
thing
And
okay,
she
so
is a
here's the thing
child
about
of Orodreth.
here's the thing about Finduilas though. Isn't she found with a fucking spear through her against the tree?
And you know who else has a spear?
God damn it, Bree.
Gil-galad.
God damn it,
Oh,
Bree. Everything you say is correct. Fuck.
What is more powerful than taking the thing that almost killed you and making it your signature weapon?
oh,
So wait. This theory
That's
is that
badass.
Gil-galad is a trans man. I love it.
Either a
I love it.
trans man, or if you want to read it, Finduilas just in disguise being like, I know the rules of the Noldor.
mm.
Like, they don't accept
Fair.
high
Like
kings who are
Aowen,
women.
kind of Aowen-esque.
Yeah.
Precursor to.
Yeah. So it could be either way. Or it could be that Finduilas is like, I don't care about gender either way. I'm gonna carry on like the house of, out of Finwë, and like, keep
Damn
us
it.
going.
Mm.
Oh, damn. I'm gonna need
For
to
those
get
keeping
another
track,
one.
that's a drink.
Okay.
I like David. I like
We
that.
also
I do
have
like that
You're
one.
not having drinks tonight, but every time we say drink, you grab a drink of water. I appreciate that. Thank you, David.
I also
That's
have
moral
him
support.
being one of the Sindar because of his silver hair, possibly Elurid or Elurin, or both. They
I
might have
really
like a
like that. I
sister
really
thing
like
going
that
on.
theory. Actually, I
I
like
like
so
that one
far.
too because it
So
ties
far,
up.
I don't dislike any of these theories. I have to say.
Yeah. And then I have, let's see, I have Paranthir and Halith love child.
So if oh my god, I wish Lee was here for this, because she would have been. Was it Carenthir? Was it Carnsteer? It is Carnsteer. Yeah,
Carnisteer.
yeah, yeah. because Lee loves that theory that Carnisteer. For those who don't know, our friend, our dear other part of the Noldor squad who was unable to make it tonight, has a headcanon that Carnisteer and Haleth had relations, and in Carnisteer's mind, that meant they were married. So
I've subscribed to that.
I also
canon. Like,
subscribe
it's-
to
Ew,
that.
it's so funny.
I also and like so like in Lee's head, Carnister goes and like talks to his brothers and goes, "Guys, I'm married," and they're like, "No, you're not. You no."
I think he's lying for tax benefits.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Fucking
He's like, Carnister's like, okay, I would do that, but I'm serious this time.
right, motherfucking the boy who cried fucking wolf for tax purposes.
I know I'm not the
And,
most
like,
reliable.
Yeah,
You can't meet her because she's the king of her own people and she refuses to come here.
She
But
goes to
she's
another
real.
school.
Trust.
I swear.
She goes to another school. She's too busy.
guys, I promise
yeah,
you, she's
so
real.
there's Haranthir and Haleth
I
love
like that one a lot too.
child.
But then
I
his
also
face
have
is,
here.
but his face isn't red enough for them to be Carnisteer's child. That's my only.
But like, look at
Just
it.
because
but then,
Tolkien didn't write about
the
it.
Fanodian, like recessive genes go
know.
crazy because, like, genetically speaking, it doesn't make sense for Teal Cormo to have silver hair.
No, because
It doesn't
Muriel.
make sense for
Muriel
Maitros to have
Sorrento.
red hair. Yeah, but it's a recessive gene.
Elves don't deal with.
Hold on. First of all, we said my Timo's name now twice. We have to drink. Secondly, you can't say it makes no sense for him to have red hair. His fucking mother was a redhead.
Yeah,
and his
but red is
grandfather.
a recessive gene.
She's talking about real world
And
genetics.
Fan
So,
Notto
I mean,
has
it
black
tracks.
hair.
All right, fair. I didn't pull out my
So,
punted square.
if we are going to keep
whatever it's
in mind
called.
genetics, which is he doesn't turn red, then we have to go whole hog with genetics, which
Sure.
is
That's fair.
if the sons of Fionnato can all have different colored hair like they're like how many boys, then Caranthir's son might not have inherited his like little blush. He might have inherited Hollis,
His little blush.
poker face.
His elvish glow.
Wait a minute. I gotta go back to this red hair thing.
His elvish glow.
And shit. Like it's a recessive gene, sure, but we don't know Finway's fucking punted square. So like it could have been
That's-
recessive, but like you know what I mean? Like I mean
That's
it's
what I'm
recessive.
saying.
It's
Elven-
no, here's the thing. It's recessive, but he
Elven-
has 3 fucking kids that have red hair. I'm sorry.
Elven biology might be different. That'd be the only.
That's true.
That'd probably be the main caveat or loophole to that.
That's my
Yeah, I'd have to go
point.
read. I'd have to go read. What is it? Peoples, I think. No, Nature. I'd have to go read Nature and double check that.
What does Tolkien have to say about genetics and?
Quite a lot, actually. Strangely, not even strangely. That dude thought way too many things about a lot of things. I'm sorry,
I
Brie.
have elf
Continue.
democracy, which is they all elected him. It was the one time they tried to do democracy amongst the Noldor. They all voted for Gil-galad. He's perfect. And then he has the longest reign out of any of the High Kings in Middle Earth. He dies, and then they're like, you know what? How about we just vote no kings? We're done. We're done with that. We're done.
That
We'll all
actually,
just go
that
to our
might
own
be
little places.
that might be my favorite one so far because, well, I had a thought and it's gone. No, that might be my favorite one because it that tracks a lot within Noldor actually, because the Noldor are very fucking pragmatic, and to have had, oh god damn it, this is gonna suck. To have had Finway and Feanor and fucking Otta Finway and Fingolf Nola Finway and fucking Turgan and I'm sorry, Turcano and Findicano and all these fucking high kings, and then suddenly they're like, listen, our kings die constantly. Like, I don't know what the fuck's gonna go on. Let's just have one king we agree on. We all fucking agree on. Kind of makes a lot of sense. I like how I'm not like doing a lot of counter argument to like most things you're saying because like you've clearly done a ton of research. So this is your episode, Brie.
Not
You do
even
what you need.
research. I just have a mind palace. Okay. So there's elf democracy, which I also really like. Yeah. So elf democracy, Caranthir and Hallett, love child. I have a Shinmar, I don't know who it would be.
No, which one?
Maybe
Oh, Tolkormo
Kyoko
question mark.
and yeah, we don't know. Maybe Luthien let him hit it once. We don't know. Maybe it's Adatel's kid.
Whoa. Let's back up on that one.
Yeah, I think that one. I'm not too fond of that one just because
That's-
of the events that happened.
Listen, that's the one that
Tolkormo's-
that's the one I
think he
really
was
will back that up on.
Yeah, though I know. I was out of pocket. I don't actually think
No,
so. Unless
I was super
unless
out of
that's part of the cover up. They were like, she was totally not into him at all. Therefore, she could never have had a son with him. That could be part of the cover up. Because we have to remember all the things that we read as having been like, like if we look at like the Watsonian like way of thinking is like the Silmarillion is not an objective historical document. Like it is a historical
Right.
document, but in the sense of like we have to look at all these different
It's taken from, like,
documents and the
it's taken
agenda
from
of
some
the
of
people
the-
writing them.
Yeah.
So we have to take and if it's so unreliable that it won't even give us a clear answer about who the father of the ultimate High King is, you can unravel all sorts of things, which I know is
Listen,
just a really elaborate
to-
way for me to like have a problematic fave. Listen,
Well,
he can talk
let
to
me
animals.
back you up. Let me back you up.
Okay?
Let me back you
He
up
can
real quick.
talk
Let me
to
back you up real quick.
animals.
You said like
Okay.
the High King, and we have David here. So the High King
Well,
is Nola Finway. By the way, take a drink.
I took
I didn't even open it yet.
I took their statement of the ultimate High King as in like the technical, like the literal definition of ultimate being the final or the end.
Oh,
King.
Well,
okay,
and also, but
fair.
also
So, like,
he's like the
penultimate.
longest lived one. He goes down like fighting, like he's probably the most successful of the High Kings. And again, if we go with like,
David,
for
how does that make you
example,
feel?
like
How does that make you feel, David?
I mean,
Since your
he-
guy
but
went
it's
up
two
against
different
Morgoth,
kinds.
and yet somehow Gil-galad is like the true ultimate High King
I mean,
of the Noldor.
But like, what makes
Finwë
a king
Finwë crippled
successful?
the god.
Yes, but like that's not what a king's job is. That's the job of a warrior.
I mean,
So
to be
he
fair,
is like the best warrior of the Noldor.
Thank you so much for saying that.
To be fair, Artenaro had like a very long peacetime
Yeah,
prior
exactly.
to the
But I do think
resurgence
that
of Sauron.
he's someone who is.
Wait, didn't Gil-galad
I
also
do
have a
think,
long
but he
peacetime as
did
well?
fight in the War of Wrath.
That's what I said, Artenaro.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Icanar. The hell is Nola Finway's Ottokano. I thought you said Ottokano.
Bethesda?
I'm sorry.
Ottokano. Yeah. There's too many
My
names.
apologies. My apologies. Yeah, they all sound super similar. Just like every single person in the House of Finway has at least somewhere in their name a Finn.
But actually, and that's the
Yeah.
but that's the other part too with Gil-galad. I mean, to counterpoint my own steel manning of Findicano, his Quenya name is more of the Ara Finwën line. Arteresto, Orodreth, Artenaro for Gil-galad.
Hey Bree, he said my boy's dad.
Yeah, I need to get a refill. I filled this already. Also, TJ, maybe you should edit out the part where I said that Luthien let Tielko hit it. I don't want to get canceled. But I'm just saying.
No, that's gonna get clicks.
Maybe they had a frenemies with benefits situation. Maybe she pegged him. I think he would enjoy that.
Woo! I'm fine with that interpretation. Whatever you want.
Or he could be Tielko and Aradhel, which means he might even be secretly Maegleen.
Oh, I don't like that one.
Maybe Maegleen's not El's kid at all.
This is the one I don't like the most.
I'm just spitballing here. I just came up with that one right now. Okay. I also have here Círdan and question mark. Maybe Irime. Círdan Alwyn.
I like that one.
That one actually, I do think that one might be the better one.
I like that one a lot.
Explains the silver hair, explains the
Yeah.
whole, ensconced to
Finwë and like
Valar.
jumping over Elrond.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also,
I
it can
also
include the
have-
Elwes and Nikilo, basically like, hey, Círdan, like you need to go and and it's a plot with Artanis is in on it, the plot too.
Yeah.
Consolidate.
Artanis is in on it. Well, she's in on most of these, in my mind.
That makes
Because
100%
she's
sense to
someone
me,
who's very
actually.
much into like soft power, right? Like
Yeah.
she would want to be somebody who would be part of the determining force between who becomes High King. She doesn't want to be king herself because like
I think
that's just
she.
like
Yeah,
that's not the she wants power. She wants power, but she doesn't want the restriction she would be forced to have by being king. She's a
she
soft
wants to
power girly.
rule. No,
She
I'm
No,
wants to
she does
firmly
want
rule,
to
I'm
rule
but
though.
you
firmly
can
of the
rule.
belief that she wants to rule. And to
You can
rule, she would
rule
need to.
without being king.
Well, that's true. That's true because
Gil-galad could
Sauron
have
does
been, to
that.
her
That's
mind,
very true.
intended
Damn
to
it.
be a figurehead.
So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to name this
Yeah.
episode TJ gets put in his place numerous times. Or their place.
Damn, TJ, you're like out here misgendering yourself. You're so
I know.
discombobulated.
I fucking hide in plain sight. I forget that. That's
I do it
whatever.
too. I
I'll cut
do
this
it
part out.
too. When you're closeted, it's difficult to code switch your gender sometimes. Okay, I also have
Yeah.
re-embodied somebody. Like it could be any of the elves of the first age re-embodied, come back during the War of Wrath. So Finrod.
The only problem I
Could be
have with
Finrod.
this, no, I can't, because the only problem I have with that is when they're re-embodied, they get the exact same body they had when they died. I mean, obviously,
Okay.
besides like the scars and shit. So like he's got silver hair. Finderato is a blonde, not a silver hair.
So they don't have hair
elfy
dye in
boy.
them on. But I was just using Finderato as like a placeholder. He could be, you know, Iconaro. He could be Aignor. He could be Aignor and Andres' secret love child. He could be
Ooh.
Well, I
Argon.
like that. I like.
He could
Oh my god.
he
Oh
could
my
be,
god. What if he is fucking Andres and Ikenaro's son? Holy fuck, that'd be
and
amazing.
then that's how he ends up in Nargothrond. Finrod
Yeah.
knows.
Yeah.
Finrod takes him to Nargothrond. That is one of
Yeah.
mine that I actually forgot to write here. Let me
That's
write it
actually a
down.
really good one.
I like
We'll
that one a
say
lot.
Egg
Listen,
and Andra.
first of all, we said Finderato like 3 fucking times. And I just
Okay.
have to say, as a Finderato stan, that's 4. I really like that theory.
He could also be
That he was
Finrod
taking his
and
nephew home to protect him. I love that actually.
Because
Yep.
it's a forbidden
Yep.
like love and a forbidden love
It's a
child.
forbidden romance. And then
Yeah.
that would make
Yeah.
sense why Orodreth would claim him,
Yep. Oh, yes.
even retroactively.
Yeah.
Yes. Actually, I don't care what else
Mhm.
we talk about tonight. That's my headcanon now. That's amazing. Thank you
Oh,
for
don't worry,
thank you
there's
for
still more.
impregnating my brain with that thought. Because that will live in there
For
forever.
what you're
What? Wait, what?
anyway,
You said impregnating
there's
your
also
thought.
he
That's
could
what.
be Finderato. I don't want to
Then-
impregnate anything. Not in this
Oh no,
economy.
I'm just no. That's not okay. We'll cut that part.
I know, I'm teasing you. I'm just being a goofy guy.
Oh, okay. Right on.
He could also be Finderato and Amarie's kid.
That actually does make sense.
Like the possibilities are so endless.
So
Oh,
far,
can I
I'm
just- let me-
loving this
let me
conversation.
just say this because I don't want to forget it. So I like the Iconaro Andresse theory because
I like that one a lot too.
who are the other? Who's the only elves or what Noldoran or Eldarin tribe gets to have the half elvens as part of theirs, and that's the Nullifinwayans, right?
Mhm.
So like Earendil and like Elwing and all them.
Well, there's
sorry.
Dior. Dior isn't one
Yeah.
of the Nullifen names.
Well, he's
So
technically
it could also
not-
be.
He's technically not the.
He's not half elven.
The
He's half elven by
like-
blood, but he's not
Yeah.
half elven
Which means
by
that,
fate.
but then that also means that Elwing and Eludid and Elodin are non-Noldor
right.
half elves.
Right.
No, but as far as why would he carry the heraldry of like a Nullifinwayan? Why would he have the spear
Exactly.
that would resemble like a Nullifinwayan? It's
David?
basically because that they can have basically this child of basically throw off the scent of Iconaro and Andros because it was forbidden, and saying, oh well, let's just cast and say that he's he's Vindicano's son, since apparently they get to have the half elven kids.
Yeah. Let's save that because that's a
Or
fucking awesome idea.
Is it all a psyop? I feel like
Oh God, Bree, stop it.
Yes.
Well, For now, Almian,
Oh,
the
man.
Noldor squad will return. But
We'll be
Almian,
back.
everyone, thank you for joining us.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Tolkien on Tap. Thank you for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow me on any of my social medias. I'm on Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky, and TikTok at @the_Neej. Namarie.